Welcome back, guys, to Mad Miners, and we're going to start by clearing out this area for a village breeder, because Bob needs friends. There, finally got it done. Now we can get down the platform where our villagers are going to come down. And this is part of Silent Whisper's design for how the villagers are going to get out. But the whole thing is not. Because we're going to make this automated. And we're going to give them a little farm upstairs so that they will breed continuously. So we won't have to feed them. Get this little chamber in. Just a 4x4. And hopefully do a little decorating around it. Because I am going to probably turn this into like a fishing house or a lodge or just someplace a little bit more safe for players as well. In case they want to come here and get their villagers. We have to get up here. Get this water into this corner. And there, it'll push all the villagers into that corner. Alright, so I'm thinking we're going to align this with a little bit of deep slate. I might change this later to wood. Depends on the build. But yeah, the first chamber is done. Now we need the chamber for the villagers' babies to sit in to mature. We'll do this in spruce. And here I did make a little bit of a mistake. I put the dispenser down one and it should be actually up one where the glass is. To get 100%. So it actually has to be up one more. And then trying to get this in was not easy. In fact, I'm actually rethinking this and thinking about taking this out. Because it doesn't function the way it should. And then I figured I'd build a little dock area here where people could put the boat and just break the cart and have them go into the boats. And if you didn't want the villager, well, you just had to push the cart in the water. He'd magically disappear. Little bit of wood there. And a little bit of sealant. And some fences. I do have some fences at least. Am I decorating? Should I seal it? No, because there's gonna be traffic. I will push it back a little. There. Now, the chest's here. So, and I want some glass, so I want to see my babies. Pillar this up. Yeah, here should be fine. Button, button, wait. 3 buttons down here. Water, sloosh, going. Oh, I might have to put these up one more. Yeah, because the button should be over on the glass. There. I think I'm gonna have to put the chests up one more too. Yep. Because there'll be adults when they come through here. Nobody's gonna see this. Some of the glass back. Building it up. Nothing wrong with building it up. Where's my silk touch? Let's see. Yeah, this should be alright, right? And water flows that way. Yeah, this should work. And then fill these little 2 corners in with water. Make it a water source above it. And our little button down here to stop the water flow. There. There, that finishes the catch area. I'm just going to put a little roof on here just to make sure nothing dies in a lightning storm or something. But we'll fix this up later. So this is where the babies are going to fall in. And here we're going to have a water line going from here to here. And then we're just going to put rails or sides on it so that they don't fall out. And I'm just going to make sure that my water is going to reach all the way to the end. Oh, I'm off by one. So the water's going to go there. There. So they'll fall into that trail. They'll slide down. And then this, I have to extend back. I believe it's 8. Yeah, I believe this is 8 we have to extend back because we have to put water on this one too. Because this is kind of like the place where they're going to try to get to their beds and fall in the water. Now, originally I was thinking about doing 2 farm areas, but I changed it later on to 1, so I cut this down a little bit shorter. And here I was just putting in walls, so that I would remind myself that this was going to be part of the structure underneath for players. Kind of like a housing storage kind of thing. And I'd redo all that. And then I decided I would change all of this to glass so that we could watch the babies go through. Here doesn't matter too much. As long as they fit in there, that's all that matters. Here was where we got to put the water going down into this. To catch them when they try to get into the bed. So the bed would be here, and there's got to be 2 gaps between each wall. And here I think I built up. Yeah, just to make sure. I can fix all that stuff later, but we're going to put a little roof on this. So I know where my bearings are. Then this one has to go up. But yeah, it's not easy building a village breeder, especially in 1.18 where you gotta remodel everything because of the older versions, but we gotta make sure that this reaches the end, which it does. We need more water. Get infinite water in here. Oh, infinite. Thank you. See, normally I'd have a farm over on this side and one behind me, but I decided to shrink this a little. We have to take it up 5. And then up here is where we build the farm. And then I'm looking at this and like, I don't need this. So I shrunk it. And in my shrinking, I realized one important thing. I didn't have the 2 gap. The 2 gap is absolutely needed because your villagers will get into the beds. You don't want them in the beds, you want them in the water. I think it was about this point where I was putting down the platforms for the beds that I realized one important thing. Yeah, that was a 1 gap, not a 2 gap. So all of this wall had to come down. Because we absolutely need that 2 gap if we want to make 100% sure that villagers are not getting into the beds. And then we have to take this little section out because this is going to be farmland. I could get a decent amount of beds in here. And hopefully they'd have lots of babies. I kind of did a little bit of trim in dirt, even though this dirt right here in the corners is not going to stay. This was just for making sure that I had the right size of farmland. This later on I will change all to wood and continue it as part of the structure walls. But we got our platform out and our farm in, a little bit of hoe, and we'll probably plant potatoes up here because potatoes or carrots work great. I wouldn't suggest wheat because it just takes up their inventory slots. And this little gap here, really. doesn't really too matter on that gap. But right here was all not hoed, is where our platform design is going to be. And I decided to go with wood and get them up a little bit of a structure. Because I don't want my villagers falling off. That, and then I got the farmer the villager, I can't even remember what it is anymore, composter in, and a little light on top of it. I figured I'd be nice and I'd give them a little bit of a window, and my glass was very limited at this point. So they could see a little bit of the world. Yeah, I left this gap up here, and we're just gonna fill it with traps. Doors, so that they think they can get out of there. And then trapdoors on this side. So they think they can pathfind to their beds. As soon as I remember how to place trap doors. And then put those all down. And then it was time to plant some potatoes. Figure I'd give these a head start and bone meal a couple of them, just to get their inventories good and going. Only one of them really needs to be a farmer. You can put 2 in here if you want. After that, I started some work on the house and getting this down, doing a little bit of the structuring changes, get some flooring in, work on the design. I enjoy doing interiors, and I found this exploring, and I was looking forever for one of these. I just happened to find it when I was going for wood. There wasn't very much in here. It was kind of like underwater. I'm so short I can't reach the glowberries. But I couldn't find any of the trees, which was unfortunate. But I did get a couple of things, including a spore blossom way up there. And then I started my adventure of kidnapping villagers. Oh, but I didn't realize that they took damage from falling. When did you start doing that? Finally got him safely here. Good job. Get him back into his cart system. And got him up into the farm. Or her, I should say. It's either or. But in you go. This is your new home. You like it here now. Now, bring back the partner. Nothing like kidnapping a few villagers. And get that one in. And free them. Hopefully they will stop baby making. Some beds in. Make sure they bind. Get as many beds as I can get into this place. Look, they were already making babies. So hopefully it wouldn't be too long. We'd have to wait to get our first batch. There he is. First newborn of this colony. I didn't even have to wait for night. He just came right down. I decided to give them names. Jane was a working woman. And Albert. And the rest of their potatoes. Yeah, so it was working great. There was lots of babies, although I wasn't expecting this guy to kind of slide in here as easily as he did. At least if there was any nitwits, you could just drown them. And I did some interior work, put this up and cozy little fireplace in, and made it acceptable to live in, and did some exterior work, a little bit of a logging area. But yeah, that was all we had time for, so kitty cat. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. So take care, have fun, be safe, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.